the land of the free and home of the brave. In 2017, the United States of America recorded 1,015 anti-Semitic incidents of harassment and 952 instances of vandalism against Jewish properties. This is a problem, and most Christian Americans do not recognize that it is a problem. However, ignorance is not the only issue. Christian Americans no longer recognize their heritage in Israel and have lost all interest in her protection and livelihood. The evidence is clear as to what happens when people who claim Christianity are dismissive of anti-Semitism. Before World War II, Jews did not have a nation to call their own, and so had no choice but to immigrate into other countries. Now, imagine you're a citizen in a country in Europe during World War II. You've lived there your entire life, but now, suddenly, that country says you don't belong there anymore, and you must leave. In fact, you're no longer welcome anywhere. This is the culmination of anti-Semitism around the world. Unchecked, the hatred of the Jewish people led to one of, if not the most horrendous acts against the human race, the Holocaust. Christian Americans must be educated on the importance of the existence of Israel. In 1867, a British archaeologist named Charles Warren found what is now to be considered the original city of David. This began again the discussion of Israel as a nation because many people were waiting for the prophecy to be fulfilled that God would bring back his people from every corner of the world. 50 years later, in the year 1917, two important events occurred between the British and the Jewish people. The first occurred when General Allen B. captured the Temple Mounts of Jerusalem in World War I. This is important for all the Jews in the world who have been without a place to call home for nearly 2,000 years since the Romans destroyed Jerusalem. After that occurred, the Israelites scattered throughout the nations of the world, clinging to the hope of a time when God would call them back home. The beginning of that time for many started when General Allenby captured the Temple Mounts and took back Jerusalem. For them, it was time to come home. Britain stepped in once again when the Prime Minister announced the Balfour Declaration. On November 2nd, 1917, the Balfour Declaration stated, "His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people." This was important because it acknowledged the need for a nation of Jewish people, but also because it was a world power making that statement. For Britain to acknowledge the need of a nation for the nation of Israel was profound, but it took the Holocaust for the rest of the world to get on the same page. The Holocaust was the killing of over 6 million Jews from the years 1933 to 1945 as a part of Nazi Germany's plan for the Aryan race. The Holocaust forced the world into recognizing the plight of a single group, and this changed the minds of many, including Britain and the United States, into recognizing the need for a nation of Israel. Because of the Balfour Declaration, Jews were given the chance to become a people again, to become a nation. In December of 1967, Israel was fighting for their lives in what would be known as the Six-Day War. They fought against Syria, Egypt, Jordan, and other small hostile terrorist groups. These groups came together to fight Israel and take their land away from them. What actually happened was Israel took land from them. In the short span of 6 days, Israel fought against much larger and more sophisticated groups, and they fought successfully. The proof of Israel's commitment to global peace